Right, we're fishing the green banks leading onto the railway. Yeah, just working the meps through upstreaming and gently working our way down to the hotspot. All looks good. The river level's dropped by about another half a foot. It's quite low and visibility looks like it's improving. The weed has come up a bit, so we probably won't do so much of a countdown as we normally do, but just trying to avoid going through all that weed. It's not easy, it's quite difficult to present it really, but we'll come up at a slightly different angle and we're up it from up here. And bring our net with us just in case. Let's give it a go. There we go. Slow retrieve. Nice and slowly through that tail. That's working lovely. It's dropping as we go. All looking good. Slowly around. Okay, let's go again. Just bring it back over the weed. They come from a slightly different angle. That looks good. Just letting that drop down nicely, avoiding the weed. That's coming through there nicely. Just touched a little bit of weed there. Let that just come through on that flow. It's working superbly. Let's have a look at her. And here she comes. It's a nice peaceful morning, overcast conditions. Flickering nicely through there at 12 o'clock. Seeing whether we can get something to come up and hit it, come off the deck. Conditions are quite cool. The water temperature's dropped again, down to about 12. Air temperature's about 18. So it is quite cold for a late June. I expect it to be a little bit warmer than this. But still favourable conditions for salmon fishing. Going to work through here. I'd like to do the pipes a bit later. We'll see how we go. We'll just try a 1 o'clock cast. So we'll give that a 1 o'clock. Let that sit for a bit, let it go down. There's less weed on that side, so we can allow that to just drift with the flow and get down deep before we just swing around. Now, last week we were playing with the Devon. We're going to get the Devon out again, but I'm going to introduce a new technique called fishing the meps, Devon style. Weighted meps. That's what I'm going to try. See if that helps us produce a fish. So, just going to gently come through this glide, working it through nicely, avoiding the weed if we can. Just working her back. She should be coming quite deep now. So she's coming off about 2 feet of water and just working through. Do that again. This time we're going to go under the bridge. The salmon could be under the bridge, so we'll let that sit again. Let it drift with the current. Give some line so it just sinks nicely. It's a heavy MEPS 5 we're using today, so that will drop down about 3 or 4 feet at least, and then we can just slowly retrieve against the flow. And there we go. Let's retrieve against that flow now. Slow retrieve on the dangle. Spinner seems to be working well. So it's a nice slow retrieve. Hardly moving it, it's virtually on the dangle. Just seeing if we can actually invite a fish onto it now. We've had no disturbance here this morning, no one else has been fishing through here, so it's rested well over the night. So I've come down at 8 o'clock to try my hand. In search of a 40 now. That's my target, 40-pound salmon, ladies and gentlemen, is what I'm looking for. And if we can achieve that, I'll be very happy indeed. So that's just beautiful. Look at that, absolutely brilliant. And we're going to go again, this time aiming for the column of the bridge. Again, we're letting that drift with the flow. Get it down, get it down, get it down. So give that plenty of seconds to go down there, 3 or 4 more seconds. It's taking line, it's drifting down on the current, and then we just slowly retrieve back, really slowly. The current's doing most of the work. It allows us to keep the depth if we just allow it just to trickle back. So it's almost like dangle fishing. I can just feel that gliding. Feel it gliding, just coming back this way now. Gently does it, gently does it. Just trying to invite a take. I think we've hit some structure here. Don't think it's fish, it is structure. Yeah, hit a bit of structure. So we'll pull that up. That was fishing very deep, but we've just hit some weed, and I think we should clean that up. So, no, that was actually okay. Let's go again. Oops, that was right on the bridge that time. We bounced off the bridge. That's our one crap cast. We're allowed to put one bad cast in a day. We normally get a fish after a bad cast anyway. So that was a clinker off the bridge. If we get salmon now, that'd be wonderful. That will be certainly a bridge salmon. So let's just reel it back now. Just slowly does it. Slowly does it. Slowly does it. So I'm lifting and drawing nymph fishing style, because the ribber itself is working the blade. I'm just slowly lifting and dropping, giving that nymph approach to fishing, sinking and dropping on the flow. I'm not hitting anything at the moment, which is good, although it feels heavy now. I may have hit some structure. I think I have. There's something quite heavy down here. Let's pull it through. What's this? It feels very heavy. Oh, it's coming. I think I might have hit a whole tree. It's coming towards us, whatever it is. Big salmon crash on that far bank, about there. I'm just going to see if I can hook up with him. It's a big boy. He came up and showed himself quite high up. And a big crash. There's salmon in this pool, ladies and gentlemen. Just hit a snag, and I was sorting out the snag and just rested it for about 5 minutes, and all of a sudden, wallop, just hit it. So I'm going to see whether we can get onto that fish. And we'll just flicker up into that. Oh no, we're out. That was a bit too hard. Pulled out there nicely. Bringing that through. Right, we're going to come in at a slightly different angle. Coming at this angle. Perfect. Perfecto. Just running that through over the top of that weed. Coming in from a bit sharper angle this time, but running with that flow, just gently easing it back. As it sits, it's getting deeper and deeper as I slowly retrieve. The weight of the spinner is dropping, so we want to go deeper. It's a lovely, lovely channel. I really like this pool. Just all the way through. Let's have a look at her. She's working a treat, and we're going to go again. Flick cast. Perfecto. Flick cast. That's it. And we'll retrieve it back. Work it from here. Now we're working with the flow now. This is nice. I like the angle. pulled out of that snag and we're straightened the hook to do it. There's some solid structure down there where the salmon are lying up against. Just won't touch too far down. Just need to straighten her up there. Yes, he's okay. Straightened up again. Fish just jumped there. It's moving through this pool. We've got some game fish moving. We've got a big salmon on our left, and I think it's either a brownie or sea trout on our right. So I might just go for the sea trout. See whether we can get one on the dangle. So we let that curl round to when it jumped. Picking something off there. We try it on the dangle. It's working well. He follows. And just bring that through. Just feel it bumping through. Bumping through here. On the gravel bar. It's coming on bumpity bumping. I'm hitting the gravel bed. It's working around. Let's go again under the bridge. Sit for a bit and then we'll work her back. So that's 11 o'clock. Slow retrieve on the flow. Fish on, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a fish on. This could be an Atlantic. It does feel heavy. It could be a big Atlantic, ladies and gentlemen, or it could be a big pike. I'm just tightening up the clutch because this is an Atlantic. I think it's an Atlantic. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very big fish on. I think I've got an Atlantic on. He's coming towards me. This is a big boy. He's going to show himself. Oh, up he goes. It's an Atlantic. It's a very big one. Fish on! Fish on! I need your help! It's a big Atlantic. It's a big, look at the fight on this. Oh man, I've just stepped up the clutch. This is very big, ladies. This could be bigger than the 30. He's sat in this pool, we hit it really slowly. If that guy can come over with a landing net, we've got to keep him up. Oh my goodness me, this is a very big fish. It could be a 40. It could be the 40 I'm after. I'm walking him, I'm walking him. I'm walking him. Got to keep him out of those weeds. This is a very big Atlantic salmon. Very big, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my word. I thought I'd hit the bottom and it just took off. I'm going to have to... He's showing himself, he's going. He's running to the weeds. Oh my word. This is a big fish. It feels so heavy. I've got 30 pound all the way through. I just hope the hooks are going to hold. Because they're not the best of hooks on these MEPs, I have to say. I have to just turn them out. This is big. This is bigger than the 30, I'm sorry. This could be the 40. Oh my word. Oh my word. This is so powerful. This is so powerful. Look at him go. Look at him go. Put the clutch right up. He's going. Come on, mate. Come and give me a hand. Oh, he's going. He's going. He's going. He's going for the weeds. Got to keep him at that snag. Got to clear him up. This is a very big Atlantic salmon. This is huge, ladies and gentlemen. Much bigger than the other one. This is bigger than the 30. This is a 40. The net's over there. Can you get the net for me, please? You'll see it over there. Oh. Oh. If I can just play him in. This is a very big fish. Oh. My arms are pumped. I just hope these hooks don't straighten. Oh. He wants to go. Oh, he's come out. He's come out. He's come out. Oh. Oh. He came out. It was a 40, I think. It was harder fighting than the other one.
Oh my god.
The clutch, look at the clutch. I clutched it up. He just pulled out. That was a 40. Okay. I've just lost a 40-pound salmon. Maybe more. That's the hardest fighting salmon I've had on with 30-pound braid. This very caring bar will turn over. What's your first name again? Brian. We spoke about the 40, didn't we? Yeah. And guess what? We spoke about the 40. I'm shaking. We were just talking about me raising my target to 40. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just lost a fish of a lifetime. And it was halfway beaten. Honestly, it was halfway beaten. And that just pulled out right under the bridge. But I'm still shaking. That was on the 6th or 7th cast. Honestly, that was a 40. But compared to the 30 there, it didn't make the 30 feel like a small fight. That.
Is there any chance that he'd take again today?
Probably not.
No.
But my arm is up here, it's pumped. My right arm is pumped. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what, Wednesday I had the 31.
Yeah.
What day we're now, Monday?
Yep.
How many days is that? That's 5 days, 6 days?
Yep.
So 6 days, I've come back onto the Avon, been here for half an hour. I've made about 6 casts. And that fish didn't actually slam it. I thought I'd hit bottom and it moved.
Yeah.
I thought I'd hit bottom. I've already hit some snags. I found out there's a huge snag up there. I gave it some right hand side. Just over there, there's some huge snag. I had to give it some right hand side. I played it into the open water. He pulled out on me. I tell you what, that fish could have been 40 plus. Unbelievable. I am just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wow. Well, let's keep going. There's still could be another one in here.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's stay positive.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. Let's stay positive. Okay.
I was here Saturday fishing. 2 salmon anglers come past me and they saw a huge fish jump underneath the bridge and they both reckoned that it was a 40.
Wow, that could well be the fish they saw.
Could well have been, yeah.
You know, I've caught many salmon. That's the hardest battle I've had with a salmon ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
And that put the 31 dwarfed that. I'll tell you, that could have been 40 plus, even 50. This is frightening. This is absolutely frightening. Ladies and gentlemen, this bridge pool is a holding pool for salmon. Oh, man. Well, we've got the take. We've got half the battle. And now I'm even more geared up now. You can believe me, I am just up for this. Thanks for coming to my rescue anyway. It's a shame you didn't get a chance to see the fish, but maybe we'll have another go. We'll have another go.
Take me, get the barbel.
I'll come and get the barbel, shall I? Oh my word, I'm still shaking, ladies and gentlemen, still shaking. Ladies and gentlemen, having just lost the 40 plus, I'm determined to give it another go. I've been working this so carefully, just dropping it down, letting it sink, and letting it work back. So now we know where the hot spot is now for the salmon. We just have to keep it going. So I think I must have aggravated it. I've put so many spinners through there, but this is just unbelievable. How I so wanted that 40 to come to the net. Some structure down there. Boys, there's some structure down there. It's amazing that I didn't hit into the structure on that fish. Oh, I've got the beautiful cygnets coming down now. There we go.
Hello?
Hi Jared, can you hear me?
What was that?
Yeah, hi Jared, it's Dad here. Oh, Jared's line isn't strong enough to take my message. Okay, I'll try the home number. Oh, Jared's ringing me. Hi Jared, I'm going to put you on loudspeaker, just listen carefully. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
I've just lost a 40 plus.
You serious?
Yep, under the railway bridge. It was twice as hard as the 31. And it was at least 40, could have been even 50.
Really?
Yeah, I've never had a fight, I'm still shaking. I lost it after about 3-minute battle. I mean, it's unbelievable, Jared. I just can't believe this pool. I've only been 5 days away from this. Like Wednesday I had the 31. I've been here half an hour. I've gone for the same MEPS 5 with the silver blade and the blue spots, and I moved further down underneath the main bridge, and I thought I'd hit the floor. I thought I'd snagged. I couldn't pull out, and suddenly it started to move. It was that big.
Yeah.
It wasn't an aggressive take. It was like a pluck. Well, it wasn't a pluck. It just felt like a, not a pluck. It just felt like I'd hit bottom.
Yeah.
A very kind barbel fisherman ran down. He had the net ready, and as I was pulling it toward the net, it pulled out the hook.
Was it definitely a salmon?
Jared, I saw it. I actually saw it, and I tell you what, I'm still shaking. I've never ever given battle. Remember, I've got 30-pound line throughout. That rod was handling. Didn't smash me up. The hook's pulled out. Oh, yeah. So I'm getting some. I've just set. I just saying, just jokingly, I was saying to the barbel fisherman, I've now upped my game. I wanted a 40-pounder. I emailed John Lavelle to say that I'm going for 40-pounder, and I told him it would probably take me more than 2 years to get it. And I've come down here this morning, and I've just made contact with something that could have been even bigger than 40, could have been a 50 even. I mean, I kid you not, that was the biggest salmon I've ever felt on a rod and line, ever, absolutely ever.
Did you video it?
I videoed the take and the fight. I've got that. I'll be showing my audience that's for sure.
Did you get the salmon video?
Pardon?
Did you get the actual salmon video? Can you see the fish?
I can see the fish with my polarized. I'm not sure about the cam. I have to see. I don't think all you can see is the big wake and the movement and the power of its presence, the way it cruised off. It was a majestic fish, Jared. That was a very strong, raw, big boy. I'm talking. It's not just a big boy. I'm going to call that what a ginormous boy. Ginormous boy is what I'm going to call that one. I'll tell you what. My right arm's had a 3-minute workout, and I've got lactic acid build up already, and I'm just literally pumped. My right arm is twice as big as my left. Honestly, Jared. This is just unbelievable. I just can't believe what's happening. Sorry? In the same pool, the railway pool, yeah, just over there. There's no one here fishing it. There's no course fishermen, so the whole place has been just relaxed and chilled for the whole night. I've come on the first one at 8 o'clock, and absolutely no one here. One other barbel fisherman I've bumped into, and that is it. So I've got the whole fishery here. But yeah, apparently they go up in 3s and 4s, so where there's one, I'm resting it for a bit, and then I'm going to go back on it. There's still a chance, Jared, anyway. I'll keep you posted, but let Mum and everyone else know the news. But that's what we had on there. We had on something between 40 and 50 pounds in my book, and it was probably the biggest Atlantic salmon that this fishery has seen for many a year. And we're talking about even going back to the 1952 fish. It's 49 pounds. That could have been as big as, if not bigger than, the 49er, honestly. I'm still shaking.
Well, hopefully
Yeah. All right then, Jared, I'll catch up with you later. I'll speak to you later, mate. Okay, see you, Jared. Yeah, bye. Well, that was Jared. He can't believe it as well. I'm still in a state of shock, to be honest with you, but I'll calm down. I'm going to calm down. Give this a chance to rest, and then we'll come back onto it.
The person you are calling is unable to take your call. Please leave your message after the tone. To re-record your message, key hash at any time.
Hi, good morning, Steve. It's Paul here. I'm just sitting on the ground. Just sitting on the ground underneath the railway swim, as you've probably heard, and still shaking, but I've just lost a fish that you will not believe the proportions of this fish. 40 to 50 pounds. Fought harder than you can believe. Honestly, it made the 31 come in feel like a wet sack, and you know how hard that fought. This fish, I think, was over 40, possibly 50, out of the railway swim, and it's the 24th of June. I thought I'd just let you know. I'm just sitting down and just regathering my momentum here. I'm just a little bit shaken up by that. Got it on video. I'll send you the video, and you can let me know your analysis on the fight. It was so close. I mean, just pulled out as I was bringing it through to the net. Pulled out, and I had it well and truly hooked. It was on for 3 or 4 minutes. I've never had a fight like it. I tell you honestly, I've never had a fight like it. It's like game fishing abroad with a 200-pound tarpon on the end. That's what it felt like. So, anyway, I thought I'd let you know. Okay, speak to you soon, Steve. Okay, cheers. I saw the fish jumping. Right, see if Bob's around.
Please leave your message after the tone. To re-record your message, key hash at any time.
Good morning, Bob. It's Paul here. It's the 24th of June, Monday morning. Done an early session down at the Royalty, and I've got some interesting news for you. I've lost a fish between 40 and 50 pounds under the railway swim. I'm still shaking. I lost it about 10 minutes ago, and I'm sat down just regathering my strength. My right arm is absolutely killing. I got the fight on take. I got the take and the fight on video, and I'll send you a copy of it. It's just a mammoth fish. I've just never ever experienced a salmon like it, and this is in another league. I mean, it made the 30 look like it came in like an easy boy. This was more than a big boy. I'm going to call this the gigantic boy, but I thought I'd let you know because there are some huge salmon running at the moment on the Avon, and I'm sat right in the hole where they sit. I'm hoping there's another one there for us, but I was in battle for 3 minutes. I had him under control partially, and then he decided to come towards me, and I reeled in, and then he turned and went, and as I was just trying to hold him back, because I knew I'm surrounded by snags here. I've lost meps and things, and as I put a bit of pressure on, the hooks just pulled out, but I had him on for 3. He was well and truly hooked. No bending of the hook, so I had it beautifully played. Just the hook itself must have pulled out, so that was an amazing fish. Bob, I'll hopefully speak to you soon. Give me a call back. Okay, thank you. Right, I'm going to try and give John Dennis a call. He's the gamekeeper on the fishery here. Just to let him know what's happened.
Oh, I'm in a meeting at the moment. Can I call you back?
Yeah, sure. I just lost something between 40 and 50, but I'll talk to you later.
I'll call you back in a bit.
Okay.
Cheers.
Okay. He's in a meeting, but he'll give me a buzz back. Right, I've just put on a new MEPS 5 with razor sharp hooks, and I'm just going to see whether or not there's another big one in here. Could be. Hopefully we'll get a better hook holding. Everything else is fine, the setup's working. So I'm just experimenting now with the effect of a brand new MEPS and see whether or not that would produce another fish for us. But man, that was a fish of a lifetime came off there. Another fish of a lifetime. Say 40 to 50 pound class. I've never seen such a big fighting fish like that. That is just immense. We're surrounded by snags, and that's the problem, is you've got to give it some elbow. I might have to beef up to 40 pound line, thinking, right, so I've got 30 on, but I'm now contemplating a 40 pound beef up, and maybe even the braid beef it up again. This is just unbelievable. I just cannot believe this. But we're in the right position. This is a massive holding pool. Big ones like to stay here, so there's obviously everything's right about the position of the salmon here. It's just a lovely calm glide through here. It's just perfect for the salmon. They can rest here. It's a good resting spot. You've got a nice flow off here. So let's casting and working around all the time. Perhaps I pulled him off that flow back into here and then he hit it. But funny bite was, it wasn't an aggressive take, it was just a pick up and just sat there. It was like you hit the floor. Like this again. Am I in? It's not a fish, surely. Can't be a fish. No, that was a snag. But that's what it felt like. It felt like just a solid bit of floor. Right, just let that sit for a bit. Oh, look. There's a salmon. Do you see that? I disturbed him. Right, let's see if he'll come onto it. He might. He might come onto it. He's chasing something. He's moving something out of his pool. That was a big, big fish. Just showed itself. Did you see that? Huge fish. So now, we've disturbed the fish. We've got a fish in his pool. This is great news. It might be the same fish. It might take again. Doubt it. But it might. That was a huge fish, ladies and gentlemen. Do you see the rise right at us? Caught that on video as well, so I hope you got that. That was a big fish as well. That's a big copfish, just chasing something out of its pool. I've disturbed it. We're going to keep working it. Got to keep working it. Might get lucky again. So I'm going to keep it onto that point. Just let that sit now for a bit. Let it go down. But he's definitely chasing something out of his pool. He doesn't like whatever's in here. Very territorial, very aggressive. Must be a huge hole through here. He just wants to keep to himself. He's come back in it. If I hook him up again, at least half the battle's done. Hopefully I've tied him out a bit. This is just amazing. I just can't believe it. I can't believe I'm on this big fish here again. I've got to just take it patiently now, tactically. It's a game of tactics, game of chess. Flick cast, so that just go with the flow, get down. Hi Bob.
Hello, mate.
Did you get my message?
Can't believe that. You know where you stand, which bank are you on, left and right bank?
On the right bank. On the right.
Where you were before, when you had to search found that?
Yeah, but further down, just slightly down, just in front of the bridge. The main bridge, I'm actually adjacent to it. It's a lovely pool, deep hole. I saw a fish rise to my left. I saw another fish rise to my right. I then decided to come at a different angle at it, and I was working my way down. You know that metal plate that runs along the other side, that curved metal plate?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was casting it up, and I was bringing it round, and then I decided to just cast it out underneath the bridge, and then counted to 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds. It got down really deep, and slow retrieve, and the river cuts across the blade, and that blade works perfectly with a very slow retrieve. And I thought I hit the bottom because about 2 minutes earlier I snagged up, and I know there's 3 or 4 snags in this pool all over the shop, and so I went all the way down to the corner to pull out that snag, and I pulled out some 25-pound braid that I was snagged onto someone else's rig, and when this fish took, I thought I was snagged again. It was just a solid brick, and that brick decided to move. You could probably hear that train's just gone through.
I thought it was your stomach rumbling.
Pardon?
I thought it was your stomach rumbling.
No, I've calmed down. I was shaking a little bit earlier. I sat down just to calm my nerves. And you wouldn't believe this. 2 minutes ago, just before you called, another big boy showed himself on the left-hand pool, and he was chasing something. And I got that on video as well. I've got everything on video, including the loss. 3-minute battle. A barbel guy came up, and do you know the 31 that looked like it fought well?
Yeah.
Nothing. Absolutely, that was nothing compared to what I had on, mate. I have never experienced it. The only thing I've come close to this was a 250-pound tarp on it when I was fishing in, where was I fishing? I was fishing in Africa. Where was it? It was not Kenya. somewhere in Africa, I can't remember, Gambia. I went Gambia fishing about 8 years ago, and I also lost a 250-pound tarpon. And it had this fish here had the power of a 250-pound tarpon. I've mean, my right arm is so pumped in 3 minutes. I've got lactic acid build up already, mate. I tell you, that was just immense. It was immense. I'm still shaking now.
Nice. I can't believe where all these big fish are coming from, can you?
But I've looked at, I studied the history. We went in there together. Guess where the big boy came out? The 49.
Get a railway pool.
Just above the railway pool.
Did you actually get a good look at the fish?
I did with my polarised, and it dwarfed the 31.
Unbelievable.
Bob, I'll just let you know, you're on video at the moment, so keep the language clean, please.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It's quite okay.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, what I'm saying, Bob, is this place is unbelievable. And I've just joined Ringwood. I can fish this for $12.50 a day on a Ringwood membership. And I'm just thinking about this carefully, about the future. I want to keep my Christchurch going as well, but I'm just thinking, I've never experienced anything like this ever. Even yeah. Sorry.
How much the Ringwood Club to join?
150 plus £20 joining, 170.
And then you can fish $12.50 a day.
$12.50 a day. Yeah.
And what you've got to weigh up, how much would it cost you a day if you didn't join the Ringwood? £30 a day, is it?
Yeah, well, you've got fruit fishery, you've got salmon fishing on the Stour. There's a lot of other salmon fishing besides here. I just think it's incredibly good value as well.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want to fish anything other than the royalty, because the royalty is flat. But what I was saying is, if it's £35 a day, depends how many times you're going to fish it. Bearing in mind, you also got Christchurch water as well.
But
How much is it to join?
150 plus 20 joining, so it's 170.
170, so 35, that's only 5 visits, isn't it?
Yeah. I want to be the next person to show a £50 fish with my target. I emailed John Lavelle this morning, sending him a revised copy because he didn't have 1 hour 15 minutes to spare on my video. So I made him a 30-minute version, which Jared has uploaded on YouTube. It's on YouTube now. And by the way, Jared came down and we had 15 minutes with a kingfisher, and that's on the video.
You were saying, I haven't seen that yet.
It's on the video. But Bob, I'm just like this. I'm just in awe of this pool. I'm in awe of it. That's 31. 5 days later, I've lost a 40 to 50 pound fish. It could have been 50 plus, all I know. But all I know is, Bob, I've had a lot of fish, yeah, and I know what a big fish feels like. The big boy I thought, well, that was nothing compared to what I've just experienced. Nothing.
Unbelievable. Well, I've got no doubt in my mind that you will catch a £40, obviously, because you said you'd get a £30 and you've done so.
Well, I set that goal 2 years ago. And I said to John Lavelle this morning on the email, I said, I've now raised my sights to 40. I've been here half an hour on this pool. I got here at about 8:39. It's 9:30 it made the contact. I made 8 casts down the pool, and it's the same technique again, MEPS 5, blue dotted, and upstreaming it. But this one was at 12 o'clock. Right under the bridge. And I waited very patiently for it to get deep. And I reckon there's an 8-foot hole, and the big boys have to sit here because everything else is pretty shallow. This is the first big resting hole from the tide, this bridge.
Yeah.
So that's why I figure this to be the ultimate spot on the Avon. I tell you that now. This is the ultimate spot on the Avon.
You're probably right. I mean, when I used to fish the Welsh a lot in the 60s and 70s, the railway pool was slightly different then.
Yeah.
You could stand on the left-hand bank on those great big iron, pilings.
Yeah.
And you could just about make the salmon out, and you could probably see half a dozen white mouths just opening and closing. You couldn't see the fish, but you could just make out the mouths. I mean, ever so often one would come clear of the water. But it's about 8-9 feet that hole.
Yeah.
I'll show you some pictures of me catching a barbel from there in 1976 during the drought.
Okay.
And there was no flow going through there. You could free line it.
Wow.
You could free line it, still touch the bottom.
Send it to me, Bob. Yeah, send the pictures through. I can always put that on my video. But talking about a white mouth coming up, I said I lost the big boy, and 10 minutes later, another big boy showed himself to the left-hand side, and guess what he showed himself? He was chasing something at the surface, great big back on it, but I saw the kype, and I saw the white mouth on it. It's a white mouth, and it was a kype, and I couldn't believe it. That might be the same fish I hooked. It had a back on it you wouldn't believe, and it was huge. But they do travel in 3s and 4s. I reckon this pool is probably holding 6 to 8 big salmon, and I'm just going to be patient. I'll call you if I get a fish on. Bob, honestly, if I'd have landed that fish, I think I would have made history, honestly, on this estate. I reckon I would have made history.
Only try something different, alright? Put a great big Aussie bomb on, and then put a couple of stoppers about foot from the weight, so that your MEPS is actually at 90 degrees with your main line, so your MEPS is actually on the dropper, as it were.
Yeah.
But what you're doing, you're now anchoring the lure, so it's just going to stay there and just sink and dry and see what happens. In other words, you're going to be holding that on the bottom.
Yeah.
But much in the same way we fish the prawn, but put the MEPS on the drop on the line.
Yeah.
The line forms your dropper. In other words.
Bob, you know, yeah. Do you know what you just said there? This morning I was just talking to my viewers on video, saying we're going to try it without the weighted approach, do it like a Devon minnow, and present, rather than a Devon, present the MEPS exactly as you described. So you and I are both thinking the same way.
Yeah, you're just going to be holding it.
Holding.
Got enough current there to put it through the flow.
Holding, and yeah, it will sit there and work itself. But I also want to do what you've suggested, which is a nymph approach, sink and draw, sink and draw.
Yeah.
So I like your style, Bob. I like your style. You and I think very similar. That's exactly my second approach I was going to say. I'm going to stick with what I'm doing at the moment because it's working. Twice it's worked. So I'm going to give that a go first. I've got plenty of time to put the weights on there. I just want to keep that as natural as looking as possible. The reason I'm getting down low is because it's slowed down the current. There's just enough flow to keep the big boys in this pool, but the MEPS is flickering through there beautifully without any weighted obstruction. It looks more natural. So I'm going to keep with that approach, but I'm going to move into your approach. When I get to the other bank and I'm going to work the other side, I'm going to work it down the neck using that approach like a Devon, but I'm not going to bother with a Devon. I'm going to bother with a MEPS 5. And if I get the fish of a lifetime, I shall be delighted. So that's the approach I'm going to take on the other bank.
So what I would suggest is that the main line should in fact be the dropper.
Yeah.
And then about a foot, 18 inches, put a couple of stoppers.
Yeah.
And have a swivel coming off between the stoppers.
Yeah.
Onto it about a 3 foot of line with your Devon. It might be a bit less there, otherwise it might drop to the bottom. And then just put your bloody grade 5, what do you call it, on there.
MEPS 5.
In effect, you can sink and draw it. I'll tell you what, I don't know if you noticed, but when I left you on, when was it, Thursday?
Yeah.
I could hardly walk. And when I got home, I was going to go to the doctor today because I thought I'd got MS. Because both my feet
Yeah.
have been dead as doornails. And, that's not the term, but really dead as go-go. They've been really, really bad.
Well, Bob, it's funny you should say that. Yeah. It's funny you should say that, Bob, because you know the video, when I started my video yesterday, the big one, I was doing a feature on the bridge pool before I started fishing it. I always like to zoom in on the action before I fish it. And I was wondering where you were, but because I got a zoom lens on my camera, I zoomed down and I thought I saw you at distance walking down towards the car park. And then I zoomed... Yeah.
I picked it up and I said to Meg, look, you can see how badly I'm suffering.
Well,
because
yeah.
After I left you, I then walked across the bridge at the car park, and I thought, well, I'll go and see what it's like up at, Edwards and what have you. And it was torturous. It took me 3/4 of an hour to walk from the car park back to the car.
Okay.
Because I was really spent. I just couldn't. I was absolutely knackered.
Well, the thing is, you did a lot of walking on the estate early on the Summersley estate. So that last day that we had together, probably you were starting to feel it. But the funny thing is, a couple of my friends who've looked at the video, they said, "Oh, is that Bobby? Is he okay?" And they thought that you might have had too many pints the night before. And I said, "Well, Bob doesn't drink much. That's definitely not alcohol. You look like you're staggering, like you're under the influence, but that is not alcohol. That, ladies and gentlemen, is just Bobby Windsor who's pushing himself out here, and he's working those banks, walking miles." And credit to you for giving it a shot, because there's not many other guys I know that walk 6 to 12 miles to get their fishing in.
I tell you what, what was ironic, you know where you actually hooked that 30-pounder?
Yeah.
I wanted to fish exactly where you were, but when I got there, there was a husband and wife, simply a husband and wife team barbel fishing. So I thought, well, I can hardly cross across their line.
Yeah.
So I walked downstream, I think to the next swing from where you caught that fish,
Yeah.
and made one cast upstream, which got a rebuke. So I thought, we better not upset them. So I just carried on fishing downstream. And I noticed that when you hooked that fish, that couple weren't there anymore, were they?
No, I was about 20 minutes behind you. The thing is about the barbel fishermen, Bob, is that they do move like us. So although they're there for, say, 10 minutes, if they don't get a fish within 10, 15, they're gone. I was lucky. I just came up, I looked at it, I thought, I can't believe no one's fishing it. And I looked at the pool and I thought, that's got salmon written all over it. And now I've come back again. And I never got a chance to fish the tail of this pool. Today I have, because no one's here. Just one other barbel fisherman. I've got the whole place to myself. And I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, now I can work the pool as I would have done originally, and I've made contact with an even bigger boy behind the tail. So they're all lining up. All the big boys are lined up through here, and I think there could be 6 to 10 fish in this pool. I'm going to keep plugging away and see how we get on, Bobby. But I'm going to, I'll give you a call. But thanks for calling me back.
Okay.
And I'll keep you posted, Bob. And if you fancy another day down once you've recovered, you know you're welcome to come down and join me. You know that.
Okay, mate. All right. I'll look forward to hearing from you.
Okay.
I think it should be 45 pounds. There you go.
45 is your prediction. Okay. I'll be happy.
Yes.
I'll be happy with that.
And I still think that fish you caught was between 34 and 35 because it dwarfs the one that what's his name caught.
What, Steve? Steve's fish? Steve Hutchinson?
Yeah, Steve's fish was nowhere near the size of yours.
I don't know. I actually helped him release that. I promise you, his fish was big. It doesn't look big in the picture because my camera is not the best of cameras because it's on a phone. But trust me, that fish he had was huge because I actually helped him return it. It was big. It was probably 32.
Look at the size of the head of your fish. Like I said, it's crocodilian. It looks absolutely enormous, your fish. I reckon that was 34, 35 pounds.
All right, well, yeah.
If you can get those photos enhanced and spun through 90 degrees and then make those measurements, I think you'll find I'm right.
Okay, well, we'll give that a shot. Yeah.
All right, mate. I'll speak to you later then.
Yeah, cheers, Bob.
Cheers.
Yeah, you take care. Bye. Bye, Bob. Bye. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There's Bob's views and all. He thinks my fish was 34, 35. But nothing compared to what I just lost. Let's keep going. Let's keep working it. Let's see if we can get 40. Right, we'll let that sit for a bit. I've just been in touch with Bobby Windsor. And he's given me his views on everything. And I've just seen a fish come up. It's just hit an eel. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get the underwater camera on that. That's amazing. I've got a pike that's just hit an eel right under my nose. So should we have a look at that and get the underwater camera going? I think we will. Oh, they don't come on me, but he's down there. So we'll just have a look. There's a fish down here. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a fish down there eating an eel. Pike's just hit it. But I just don't know where he is. Is he still there? That's incredible. I just can't believe that. He's hit an eel. An eel's just gone through here. Just hit it. Never seen a pike take an eel out like that. That was immense. Wow. You can see the fish just rose. Salmon. He's working his way through there, so there's some activity up here. We've got a run of salmon. That's the 4th salmon I've seen rise. So we're just changing to a copper, not copper, it's a gold, MEPS 5 red. Now, looking at the history in the museum, the biggest fish on the estate, 49 pounder, was caught on a gold sprat in this pool. So I haven't got a sprat, but I've got a gold looking sprat, red dots. So let's go on the rise and just see if he'll come up on it. Be lovely if he was. Now just working it through. Let's see if that will take. I've just beefed up my tackle here, 30 pound all the way through. Let's see whether he'll come up on that now. There's definitely salmon in this pool. I've seen them. Heading and tailing, so that's all good. It's good. It's a very good sign.
Are you there?
Yeah. Good morning, John. I've had an interesting morning. I'm fishing the Rorty. I've just lost a fish between 40 and 50 pounds.
Right.
5 days after the 31, and it was in the same swim. You know the railway swim?
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, deep hole, just below the bridge. I put my MEPS 5 in there. I let it sit for about 7 seconds. Slow retrieve back, and then suddenly there's lots of snags in this pool. Suddenly I made contact with the floor, and I thought, oh, not another MEPS gone. Then that floor began to move, and she powered off. I got it all on video. 3-minute battle. I had it under control. The hooks just pulled out as it was coming to the net, so it was.
You could actually see the fish, could you?
I could see it through my polarized glasses, but you know the fish that you saw on have you seen the video yet on the 31 or not?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay, I sent you a 30-minute. I think I sent you a 30-minute mini version, which Jared's emailed it to you, and on there we had 15 minutes with a kingfisher. By the way, you know I've been trying to.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, you know I try to get a kingfisher. Well, I got one with my son Jared, and it's the first ever kingfisher he had. I put that at the tail end of the video, so have a look at that, please do. But the fight that put up, which was still a tremendous fight, don't get me wrong, was nothing compared to what I've experienced this morning. I have never ever experienced a salmon with so much power. And that was,
Really?
I'm estimating between 40 and 50 pounds, John. It might even be bigger. And then what was annoying is I had it on for 3 minutes. It's well and truly hooked. But just as she launched herself off again, the hooks pulled out. The hooks pulled out. Oh, okay. Let me just find some cover. Hang on. Yeah, just when I was bringing her to the net, she decided to go for another run, and I put the clutch up because what was happening is I'm surrounded by snags here. I've lost about 5 MEPS in this pool, and you've got half a tree on the left-hand side of the pool. You've got half a tree right under your feet, and you've got another packed weed bed to your right, and so I was trying to steer away from all the snags. I had to put the clutch up. The hooks didn't straighten, but just pulled out.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. Oh, bad luck.
Yeah.
Oh, well. That was really your next ambition.
Well, when you but John, you know, this morning I jokingly sent you an email saying I'm going to send you a 30-minute video because I know you don't have a lot of time to watch these 1 hour 15-minute epics. But I thought if I do one for you, John, and at the bottom you'll have a look at the footnote. I said, now I've hit the 30. My next goal is going to be a 40, and I did this morning at 6:30 when I got up, and I said it'll probably take me more than 2 years to achieve that goal. I've been here half an hour, 8 o'clock in the morning. Got here about 8:39, 9:30. I put 5 casts into this pool, and all hell broke loose. And I'm thinking to myself, I came that close to achieving a 40-pound plus. Even could have smashed a 49. That fish could have smashed the 49. Honestly, John, I have never ever experienced. The closest I've got to this is a 250-pound tarpon when I was fishing in Gambia that I also lost after 15 minutes. The power of that fish just reminded me of the lost fish I had in Gambia.
Amazing. Yeah, incredible. You never know, Paul. He might take you again down there. You won't go far in these conditions.
Well, guess what? John, guess what happened? I'm finished now because 5 minutes later, another big head came up, chased a fish off near the bridge, and it showed its white kype, and that looked huge. I think we've got 6 to 10 fish in this pool sitting in here. It's the deepest. It's the first holding pool I think off the tide. Decent deep pool, and I think above it there's 2. I've chest weighted down. I put the fly for it. There's 2 to 3 feet of water to your left, which those big deep salmon I think will probably want to cover that during the night time.
Yeah,
They
won't want that depth of water. They'll need a good bit deal more than that.
Yeah, they're stuck in about 7 to 8 feet here, and the flow is absolutely perfect. I mean, the MEPS 5 is working an absolute treat. The same MEPS 5, it was a blue spotted, which you recommended, blue and silver, which you recommended.
Work this time of year.
I'll tell you what, that's dynamite. I'm going to go and order 10 of them when I get home online. I tell you.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, it might pay to put a shrimp back over that fish at some point.
Okay, I've got some prawn in the car. Yeah.
Yeah, it might just pay to trickle one back over because very often they won't chase the nap again, but they'll as a shrimp comes and annoys them, slowly work through. They might just snap at that.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll give that a shot, John. Yeah, I've got another idea. It's called well, the Devon minnow. Obviously, I've not put that through yet. But I've got this new idea called it's like a MEPS Devon minnow. You use the same use the same method as a Devon, with the weight, bouncing the weight through, but instead of using a Devon, you put the MEPS on the end. Have you seen that done before?
Yeah. Well, I've seen weighted MEPS fish before. The pleasure of a MEP is the fact that it doesn't have weight on it, really.
I agree with you.
Fish,
yeah.
But it's not very comfortable.
No.
Method to fish.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it'll work. It'll get it down to the fish if it's a deep hole. As long as you keep the spinner rotating.
Yeah.
It'll attract the fish. It'll attract the fish. And it's exactly the same principle with the shrimp, but you can work it slightly slower.
Yeah.
You can just keep raising the tip and dropping the tip, so you're trying to induce that snap from the fish.
Do you know what, John? You mentioned that. I forgot to mention before I lost the 40 plus. I did the slowest drop. It was almost like nymph fishing. I cast it down. I waited 10 seconds to get down to the bottom, and I slowly brought it up. And the current was so perfect. The blade was flickering. And I did the slowest retrieve you can imagine, and it was almost like a sink and draw, and it must have come up behind it, followed it. It didn't even smash it. It literally must have been a small mouth opening and engulfed and just held its position. That's why I thought I hit the floor.
Yeah, big fish will very often do that. They'll take very, very gently.
Yeah.
A lot of big fish will just gently take any fly, or they're not necessarily going to charge at it flat out.
No.
That's why the slower approach to them very often catches the bigger fish, because they're not prepared to charge after it.
Okay, I didn't know that. No, I didn't realise that. Yeah. So that makes a lot of sense. So nice slow retrieve. The MEPS 5 is so huge, it flickers so slowly back off the current that you can literally get it on the dangle. To be honest with you, it's almost like a dangle.
Yeah. It is. It's that's the sort of thing. But you'll be wary of a MEPS, I expect now. But you never know what his reaction might be to a shrimp. So it's call the changes on it, like changing fly patterns. Yeah, I've got
my fly rod in the car. I fancy putting the fly through there on a heavy sinking line and just working it back. But there's another option.
Well, if you can get it down to it and work it properly, there's no reason a fish won't take it.
Yeah, I might just try that, John. There's only me here at the moment. 2 other salmon rods have turned up. I've had the whole this stretch to myself, and the other thing is I got a very kind. I've had over nearly 1,000 views in a day on that new video that I put out, and there's a very nice guy that's connected with me. He's Italian. You can probably hear the train going over there.
I take it you're still on the pool.
I am. I am. There's an Italian guy who I'm connected with on Facebook, and do you know what he did? He took my picture, which I thought was, I don't know if you've seen the picture, but the 31 picture, which I thought was a beautiful picture of me looking down at the fish. He's actually done something to it, enhanced it. I've sent you a copy of it, and it's on it's on my email attachment. But have a look at it, because he's made it look even, I don't know, he's enhanced it. He's done something to it. He's not changed the dimensions of the fish. He's just put a border around me that just makes it look, the focal point is me and the fish. It looks. Have a look at it, see what your thoughts are.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah.
Great. Well done, Paul. Well,
okay.
Keep it up.
Yeah.
It's, that big one's still there, so you want to go far.
I'm gonna keep plugging away, John. I tell you, if I can hit the 40, I'm gonna be in. Oh man, I'm gonna be in heaven.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well done, Paul.
All right then, John. That's okay.
Speak to you soon.
And you, yeah. Take care. Bye, John. Bye. Well, there's some good advice. Put the prawn and shrimp through now. I might just do that. I just work the MEPS a few more times, and I'm going to go around that other bank. I could take my fly rod as well and give it a shot. He reckons that fish could take again, so it's always a possibility. Right, let's go for it. Hi, Paul.
Hiya.
Hi, mate. I've been trying to call you since about 8 o'clock this morning. You must have had a lie-in this morning, mate.
I only saw the phone was ringing, but bloody sounds off for some reason.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I've got some news for you. You're not going to believe this.
Go on.
Have you ever had a 40 or 50 pound salmon on your rod?
Well, no.
Okay, right. This morning I popped down to the Royalty about 8:39.
Yeah.
Got myself a £12.50 ticket, because now I'm a member of Ringwood, so it's £12.50.
Yeah,
I thought, I walked down and spoke to a barbel fisherman, and he said to me, I said to him, well, now I've got my 30, my target is 40, and that's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
I walked around the bend underneath the railway bridge, and I worked the MEPS 5, the blue spot, all the way through.
Yeah.
Fifth cast, I went underneath the bridge on a very slow, the slowest of retrieves you can imagine.
Yeah.
The current was flickering and it made it just look, and it's deep pull. And then suddenly I made contact with what I thought was the floor. Well, I thought it was the floor. I thought it was a snag, a big tree or something. It just went solid.
Oh, yeah.
It just went absolutely solid, and I thought, oh, not another MEP's gone. Then all of a sudden, the floor began to move. I kid you not. I got the whole thing on video. This floor moved slowly and steadily, but the bend on my rod, I've never seen that rod double up as much as that doubled up. And the line was bit, I had that drag on hard, and that he was dragging line off the reel. I had to tighten up. Had it on for 3 minutes. I called over to the barbel fisherman. I said, come and help me, I'm into this fish. I played it out for 3 minutes. As it was coming toward the net, it went for another run. It wasn't ready to come. Pulled out, the hook pulled out. But I'm not kidding you, that fish was 40, 50 pound plus class, man. My arm's so pumped, I just can't tell you, man. That was just unbelievable. I'll give that a go. I'm going to put it down through that swim. He reckons a slow move prawn could be the way to bring that fish back on.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. Yeah. Yeah. But exciting, man. 5 days ago, I had the 31. I could have had a fish of a lifetime here, 50 pound class. I just can't believe this place. It is absolutely dynamite. In 5 days. What can I say, Paul? I'm just, you know, I'm still shaking, man. I'm still. Yeah.
Did that make you shake?
It did make me shake. I was shaking for a bit, and me and the barbel angler needed to get together on that one. I needed some emotional support after that. Yeah. All right then, Paul. Well, I'll be over in the next hour or so, but I'll pick up some of your fresh prawn and give that a shot, shall I?
All right then.
Yeah. Okay then.
Okay.
See you in a bit, Paul. Okay.
All right then, Paul.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Only slightly.
Yeah. You got 20 years on me, Bob, haven't you? You got 20 years on me, mate.
Yeah.
I'm probably the equivalent of what you were 20 years ago, whatever it was, when you were my age and you were hitting that Longford estate. You were probably one of the top rods up there, I imagine.
I was. As I said in the night piece, you know, you're my contemporary. You're the latter day Bob Windsor.
Well, yeah.
What
are you going to call me? The Milky Bar baby, or the Mars Bar kid, or what are you going to call me? PG.
Mars Bar fun size.
Mars Bar fun size. That's a lot of fun to me. I have to admit, there's a bit of fun in there.
Well, because they did make a product called a fun size. It's a miniature version.
Do they do a bigger version? Do they do a bigger version? Because obviously I'm starting to hit 40 plus.
Yeah, you could be the Mars Bar multi-pack, man. About multi-pack.
Multi-pack. That's not a bad idea, is it?
Or giant size.
We'll have to work out something. All right, Bob. Well, I'll be in touch. Yeah, I'll be in touch with you shortly. If I get another fish, Bob, I'll give you a call.
Please do. I'm at home.
Okay, mate. You take care.
Don't forget to.
Yeah.
If he hadn't heard from Andrew, I'd resend that email. Make sure he gets it.
Okay. Yeah, I will do. Cheers, then, Bob.
All right, mate.
Hey, you take care. Right. Cheers. Bye. 2 more salmon leap here. So when I rest it and talk to people, the salmon show themselves. Isn't that interesting? So I think it's worth resting a pool for a while and coming back to it. I don't think it's necessarily good to keep on banging that MEPS out. I've rested it now. I want to go and see Paul and get the prawn, but I'm trying a new approach. I think I'll come back on the curve. Let's go up. Let's try the curve. See a massive spoil, big salmon. He is cheesed off. That's the big one I lost, I think. He's right over there, and I'm just going right on him. Cameras are rolling. That was a big fish. Made that big mark. Right, we've got a salmon here. I've disturbed him. He's a little bit annoyed. To say the least, he's a bit annoying. Let's go again. I can see him moving. So let's go again onto that splash, onto that rise. He's not a happy bunny. He's coming up and showing himself. I'm just going to go right on it. Let that curl around slowly. Slowly does it. Nice and slowly. We've got a big fish here. Right, slow movements now. Slow movements. So I just had an amazing experience this morning about 9:30. You wouldn't believe this. Okay, I've set my target for 40 now. You know I'm after the 40.
Yeah.
Well, I think I lost the 45 plus. It was a big. It was ginormous. I had it on for about 3 minutes on video. I have never fought a salmon as hard as that. That was the only thing I can compare it to is a 250-pound tarpon I had hooked up in Gambia about 10 years ago. This thing went off like an absolute steam train, and I've never seen my rod curve so much. I got it on video. I'll send you the video. It's just a barbel angler this morning. I spoke to him. I said I'm after the 40, but I'm going to give myself a 2-year target to get that fish. I got here at 9 o'clock. Half an hour later, after 5 casts under the railway swim, this big boy just took off. And I'll tell you what, it's a 50-pound fish. I reckon it's a 50-pound fish.
Really?
And I'm
Did you see it?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
It was a big boy, and I was that close. Probably hooked. It just pulled out. It just pulled out. I just can't believe it. I'm still shaking now. I mean, this is 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
That was a big boy.
That's what happens when you're spinning.
Right.
Were you spinning?
Yeah, well, I was MEPS-5ing it. Yeah, it took it on the slowest retrieve you can believe. I let it sink deep, and it was the slowest retrieve you could believe. It was literally flicking around about, I don't know, 3 foot a second. No, probably was travelling about 3 foot every 10 seconds.
Well, you know, I'm not a great lover of braid and barbless hooks.
Yeah.
You know, that's what happens when you use that. There's no give in braid. Do you see where I'm going with it?
I know where you're going with it. Yeah, I know where you're going with it. Yeah.
You know, and with the barbless hooks, you know, all they do is make holes.
Yeah.
You know, when you've got them, and I mean, it's not everybody's choice, but from my experience, you know, fishing and being a keeper, you know, mono is the way, and you know, with a little barb, you know.
Right.
But it's everybody's choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like to ram it down people's throat, but
Yeah.
it's you know, like you say, you're a fish of a lifetime, and I know that didn't help.
Yeah.
You know, the fight for sure. You know.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. You know.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
sorry you've lost that.
Yeah.
You know, I would love it if you reached your target. You know, you know, more than yourself, believe me. But you know, you're certainly a lucky boy there at the moment, aren't you?
Well, John, this fish has shown itself 3 times since. I've seen the kipe on it.
Yeah.
He's shown himself. He's chasing something. He's against that wall. I'm working it carefully. He's against that wall. He's shown himself 3 times. He's still in the pool, and he's aggressive. He's basically hitting anything that's coming near him at the moment. I've really pissed him off.
Yeah. What you want to do now?
Yeah.
I would rest that pool for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then go back and try something smaller than what you're using. Maybe exactly the same spinner,
Yeah.
but a size 3.
Well, it's funny you should say that. I've stepped down. I've just found out where all your snags are in this pool. I've lost 5 MEPs today. You've got so many half trees in this pool you wouldn't believe. There must be about, it must be like a Christmas tree. I'll tell you what, if you want me to go and get, I mean, I'm quite happy to help you remove that snag across there, because it must have 50.
It's all going to be done in a month, mate.
Okay, yeah.
You know, everything has got its timing.
Yeah, okay.
On the road.
Yeah, okay.
But
I mean, that's what happened is it was heading for the snag. I gave it some right-hand side, and then coming toward me, and then it turned again. Now, interestingly enough, the hooks didn't straighten, the line didn't smash. It just literally shook its head and shook the hooks. So I was just a little bit unlucky. I was so close. I mean, you know, I don't mess with my fish. I've beefed up. Well, the last fish I had, that.
Like I say, you really want to consider going over to mono.
Yeah.
You know, maybe just have one rod set up, you know, how I've said.
Yeah.
And just possibly then see the difference. You know, try it for a week.
I might just do that.
Like I say,
yeah.
I don't like to sort of like
Yeah.
ram it down anybody's throat.
Yeah.
What might
It's gone. Wow. Well, there's some advice for you from John Dennis. Mono. He thinks mono. He thinks that the braid doesn't give enough. But my clutch was set and it had give. I did have to ratchet up though because the blimmin' snags in here. But he's going to clean those snags out, so that'll be good news. Right, let's get back to it. Right, I've decided to take it down the line, 90 degrees down. I've just come all the way around. There's a deep channel through here, salmon are lying up on that run. Can you see the water coming off the side of that bridge? That is salmon holding position. If I've ever seen one, I'm just going to come right down and see whether we can make contact with a fish. But I've made contact with a snag, so we've got another snag there. I'm finding a lot of snags in this pool. Lost about 5 meps today, besides losing that big boy. So I think I just had a chat with John Dennis. He's going to have a little bit of a look at these snagging situations. He's going to try and remove some of these trees which are causing so much problem here. Okay, fishing the left bank of the railway pool. I'm going to try a copper 4. We've lost a fish of a lifetime, 50-60 pound class. And we're just going to flicker in and just work it down. Fish have been jumping through here. I know where the big boy is. I've got the prawn ready to go. Just going to do the meps from this side. Just see what we can get. See whether we can actually produce a fish from this side. I'll give it a shot. Just let that curl round. Nice and easy. That's working beautifully. I hardly have to do anything. It's just working by itself. So meps 4-ing with a copper blade. And then I'll put through the meps 5. And then I'll try the prawn in that order. Could put the fly through here, but I haven't got the fly with me today. It's in the car. So I'm just going to flicker out and just let that sit back down. I've just disturbed the biggest of salmons you can imagine right here. He just showed himself. Cameras weren't rolling, but he just showed himself. All his body went up. I've just moved him. We have got a clonker here, an absolute clonker. Big boy. And the camera wasn't rolling, but it was a big boy. I've just disturbed a big, big salmon right here. Right here. Let's go down deep and see whether we can move him up. So, just moving him now.